My dream is for everyone to be able to try stuff like this and feel really good while they're doing it. You know, extending the spine, bending backwards, twisting, and having full trust in your lower back, feeling good in your body and feeling like you're giving your body what it wants rather than forcing it to do something that it's not ready for. But all of these things you see me doing can and do start from a very basic point, and anyone can begin the process regardless of your experience or your age or whether you've had surgeries, all of that. We just need to regress the training to a level which meets you where you're at. The type of training that you're going to be doing is going to be the same training that I'm going to be doing, or someone even stronger than me, but we just modify the range of motion and the load so that we can give our body what it needs right now. Let me show you exactly how to start. So you're going to begin by training the spine with either limited extension range or limited extension force. Here's an example of limited extension range. I'm not really back bending, it's just a small movement and I'm really controlling that and focusing on it. Now here's an example coming up of limited extension force, but a full range. So it's a big back bend, but I'm very supported by where the ball is placed. The Swiss ball is essentially giving me a lovely dynamic spinal splint. And when I put that lower down towards my hips, my spine has to do more work because it's no longer supported. Only my hips are supported. So the extension force is now higher. So depending on where you set up on the Swiss ball, you're going to get a different stimulus here. You want to start with a very supportive stimulus where you can lay back and the ball supports your lower and mid back. Make sure your feet are anchored down and make sure the Swiss ball isn't going to slide out from under you because you might hurt yourself. If you're struggling to get up on one of your reps, what you can do is drive your legs straight, and that will help you press your hips down into the ball to get upright again. Okay, so to summarize, start with a fully supported spine, exploring extension as far as you're comfortable with. If you're not comfortable exploring extension yet, even with a supported spine, don't go back that far. Just do this. Use your legs to assist. Keep your hands on your navel and make sure you're drawing your belly button into your spine effectively before you increase your range of extension. As you build up your range of extension, use less support from the ball and use less leg drive. So, time to progress. So the first thing you'll notice about the GHD is it's supporting me from under my hamstrings, not my lower back. So the lever is longer, which means the forces acting upon my body are higher. Now the heaviest part of this movement is horizontal because that's when my shoulders and head are furthest away from the fulcrum, which is the pad. The pad is behind my hamstrings to give my butt space to drop below my knees and to allow my pelvis to tuck under. So I'm keeping a rounded spine through horizontal where the forces are heaviest to make sure my spine has space to move. I go into extension only once I'm below horizontal so that the extension is happening in a decompressed state. And then I round and regain midline control as I pass through horizontal where the forces are once again heavier. Throughout this movement, I'm really not trying to use my quads, but I am trying to extend my hips actively and tuck that pelvis under. Without using your legs, this becomes much more of a spinal flexion movement where you really have to control your midline and your abs. If you use your legs, it's probably because you're lacking the strength and control to be able to do that. So make sure that you're only using your legs if you get stuck down in the extended position and you just need to get up. So if you have to use your legs, reduce the range. A massive indicator of progress is that you can hold your midline integrity and keep those lower abs and lower back feeling supported and spacious and strong as you free up your upper body and begin to express yourself. It's actually a really good progression strategy to make sure that you can articulate a little bit and move around a little bit within a given range of motion before you increase range of motion and add load. If you don't feel fluent, athletic, or supple there, then you're probably already at your capacity and you probably don't need to be pushing further just yet. So now you might be able to see that it's actually hip extension ability and abdominal strength that allows us to then access more thoracic extension in a back bend. So we start off here with a rounded back because we're trying to avoid the hips pulling the spine into early extension. So the rounded position forces us to learn how to drive out of this with our hips rather than spill our belly forward and lose the navel to spine cue. When we can do that well, we can start to move the hands behind the body. And we can even start to segmentally extend the T-spine and the neck. But we're making sure that that's not at the cost of losing the belly forward. We must keep that sense of shortness in the front and spaciousness in the back of the lumbar spine area. So please don't be tempted to try to get your head to the ground at the cost of your midline integrity. It defeats the purpose and in the long run, it's going to hold you back. When you get really good at this, you can do it between 2 benches running along the length of your shins, so you can drop your head below foot level, but that's probably for another video.